Hi everyone. I figured I would catch everybody up on some of the questions I've had about the workshops and retreats and all the stuff that we have coming up over the summer. Hopefully I won't make anyone seasick because I decided that it was the perfect time to lay in the hammock. I'm actually right where we hold some of the courses, some of the workshops, right in the outdoor classroom. So if you're curious about that and you're not sure where that is, that's because it's on our private property. We live right along a stream and have a really nice clearing and swimming hole, and it's perfect for an outdoor classroom. So it's big enough that we set up tables and chairs and tents if we really need it, but it's shaded right now. Obviously it's not. There's really no leaves on the trees yet, but I promise you we're surrounded by green and trails that we walk through, and it's a beautiful area. So what better place than the natural setting of the woods and the stream to make a classroom? So there are several workshops being held there. I'm really excited about them. I'm teaming up with other artists and an outdoor enthusiast. She's actually a certified, excuse me, outdoor trainer. And so a lot of it will be nature centered, where we gather some of the materials we need for the workshops here. But I want to get to some of the specific questions. And one of them had to do with yoga, because yoga is offered in several of the combination workshops and retreats, especially the beach retreat that's coming up at Bald Head Island, which again, I realize that's a pretty big commitment. So I've had some questions about it. Please DM me if you are even remotely thinking about it and you aren't sure about some of the details, but I'll try to answer them here. So that one's happening in just a few weeks, but there are a few spots open yet because it's a big commitment, and I realize that. And most of my audience is from around here, and it's a road trip. So it takes about 10 hours to get there. You get to Southport, North Carolina, and you take a ferry across. You leave your car behind, and you have a golf cart. We have 2 golf carts actually at the house that we'll be at. So you're not trapped at the house. We're also within walking distance of the whole harbor village, but we're on a private street that overlooks the Cape Fear River and the marsh. And we're within walking distance of 2 of the beach accesses as well. But you can just hop on those golf carts anytime you want to go anywhere. And there's also bikes at the house. We have a paddleboard and several kayaks to use, which again, we have a dock nearby that we can just jump on those anytime we want to. There's going to be a lot of excursions throughout the island. It's a small island, but there's a lot to do. There's a maritime forest with trails. There's several different types of beaches, and that's because there's East Beach, which is up by Cape Fear, and that, when it's low tide, you can walk out so far. It's super cool. We're going to do a shell hunt so that we can use that for some of the art materials, or the art projects that will be inspired by the island's natural surroundings. And there's another beach that's just really calm, and everything's like private access, so there's no lifeguards, but it's not crowded, especially in May. And that's part of why we chose May for the slightly milder temperatures, because been there at all times of the year. Mid-July, August, it's sweltering, and we want to make sure we can do a lot while we're outside and be comfortable while we're doing it. And also, kids are still in school. It's a family-friendly, just really nice place to take a relaxed vacation, but this will kind of eliminate some of the busyness when families are totally filling up the island, or at least all the houses. So anyway, we will definitely be creating art. It's an art and yoga retreat, but the one question I have gotten is I don't know how to paint. I don't draw well. I'm a little iffy about that. And that is exactly the type of person that I'd love to see come to something like this and any of the workshops, because we totally cater to those who feel like they want to be creative. It's something that they desire to do. You might have a little bit of experience, you might have a lot of experience, but one thing that I've noticed is everybody that comes to these events have been really, really helpful and caring, and they share what they know and they help each other out, along with everyone who's leading them, myself and whatever artists are with me. That's the whole point. We want this to be more about the experience and the process and you enjoying how you create than it's a product driven type of thing. So it's not a cookie cutter, like paint and sip type of activity. You won't all end up with the same thing in the end. We really encourage you to find your artistic style and we work with you to do that. So that's part of the nervousness that I've found with people. The other question I had was, what if yoga's not your thing? And this retreat has an itinerary set where there is at least one yoga session for each day, but it's for beginners. And if you are more familiar with yoga, it will still be something that we will cater to your needs. However, if you don't want to participate in any of the activities, whether it's yoga, art, climbing to the top of the lighthouse to enjoy the views, if it's just not something you're up for, we are totally okay with you skipping out and maybe spending some quiet time doing something different. Like I said, there's many different options to kind of go off on your own. We have a beautiful back porch overlooking, just a real nice serene scene. So there's opportunities for you to just sit with your coffee or journal or take a book or magazine or whatever, or just hop on the golf cart and head to the beach on your own for a little bit if you need that time to yourself. So that's with the beach retreat. But that kind of goes along with any of the other things we're doing as well. There is a summer camp that we're planning for the end of July, and it's me, it's Faith Sartori, who's our outdoor expert. It's my yoga teacher, Tracy, who I love and met from Oak Lodge, and that's where it's being held. And then my daughter, Brooke, who is also certified to teach yoga, and she's a personal trainer. So the thing about the camp is we kind of are gearing it toward, those of us who maybe had gone to camp before and had really good memories of it, or maybe you didn't get to go to camp and you'd really like to. And now is your chance to do that. So it's a lot of outdoor stuff because we are going to take over the farmhouse. And the farmhouse is located in the Laurel Highlands, right across the road from a lake. 3-acre lake that we're allowed to, again, paddleboard, kayak on. There's a covered bridge there. There's picnic tables. We have the privacy of the backyard, which is totally surrounded by nature. And because it is owned by Oak Lodge, if you check out their website, it's an amazing place, which we've already held a retreat there. But we had taken over the main lodge. And the main lodge is beautiful, and rooms are available during the summer camp there if you want your own private room. But we are taking over that farmhouse and acting as if like that's our dorm area. So we will be able to serve meals there. We might order out or get meals brought in because there's so many good places that can cater us our meals. And if you want a day camp option, that's available too. So all of these links are available for you to check out more information. But they have 3 different price points based on what you prefer. If you want to just drive over every day, if you want to stay in the dorm, which is really the adorable farmhouse that has queen suites, or if you want the privacy of your own room, you can go to the main lodge, which is just a mile away, and it actually connects by the trails, but you can drive over too. So that's exciting. I have some camps going on for kids. So the Valley School of Ligonier camps are the first 3 weeks of June, and I'm doing some really unique things there. One is a pottery wheel camp, which is actually already full because it's so popular, but we still have some space in the screen printing camp, an oil painting plein air where you paint outdoors camp, a jewelry making camp, and one that I'm really excited about is called Art Ventures, and that's where I am taking the kids 3 of the days on field trips to other art venues, places that we would not necessarily be able to use that equipment otherwise. So we're going to be focusing on glass at the main exhibit. We're going to go to the Southern Alleghenies Museum of Art, and we are visiting Touchstone Center for Crafts, which is this amazing place that I go to every year. I'm going again as a student, and it's something that I love sharing it with the kids because they offer fantastic teen scholarships. So getting these kids excited about maybe potentially going there as they get older is an amazing opportunity for them. So that's at Valley School of Ligonier. And even though it's at a school, it's open to anybody, so it's not exclusive to the students that attend that school. And it is so much fun. And again, it's nature inspired because they are located on a campus right in the woods, really close to Lynn Run State Park. Another camp that I'm doing is through the Southern Alleghenies Museum of Art, and that is for ages 5 to 9 or 10 to 13. And we're doing a theme of faces through art. So everything is geared toward portraiture, animals, anything that you would possibly see faces within artwork. And we'll use a variety of materials the whole way through. So that is going to be in August. So a lot of camps are earlier. This sun is really getting me. They're earlier in the summer, and SAMA decided we're going to host them later in the summer because we're not competing with others and there's really not as much to do around the area. So for the kids, that's what I've got going on, as well as I always do virtual classes. So you can find me virtually as well. If it's a rainy day, that's something that's great to sign up for. I'm trying to think what other specific questions I had that I can make sure I cover. Any of the retreats or workshops that you come to, all supplies are included. So you literally just show up, grab a girlfriend, come by yourself, make new friends, but you do not have to worry about anything. All of the food is included, all of the supplies are included. And if you have any food restrictions, we always ask so that we can accommodate that. So please make sure that when you register, you do ask about that, or at least let us know if there's something that we should avoid. But as a friend put it just yesterday, everything's a little extra, meaning like we truly think about every last detail and try to make it a really great experience for you. There's nothing that we want to be lacking. So if there's any suggestions for something, of course, we take them. But, you know, we want to make sure you feel very welcomed, that all of the materials are what you need to create what we're making. And the experience is important, so the location is very important to us too. So besides this outdoor classroom that I have going on here, which isn't very green yet, but I promise you it will be. We also have been invited to host things at the Loyal Hannah Watershed Association's barn, which is an education center, the beautiful renovated barn. And that's coming up on May 7th. It's a workshop that is on Mother's Day weekend. So grab your mom or a loved one and come to that, because we are arranging flowers. And that's one of those things where when you decide you're going to treat yourself and you get a bouquet at the grocery store, or even if somebody else got you flowers and they send you them and they come not put into a vase, when you put them in a vase, you know how they just kind of like flop and they look terrible. So we're going to show you how to actually arrange them in the vase, but we'll actually start from scratch so that you can learn how to do it on your own if you just grab a bunch of flowers outside and you want to put them in a vase as well. And then we will be creating a watercolor painting that's real loose and free-flowing and not real stuffy looking, just kind of fun and whimsical, that anybody can do. So Rita Haldeman is the artist that's hosting that with me. She's such a sweet soul. You'll love her. And that's at the barn. So that's a big location where we can host a few more. So we have a few spots still open for that. And then I teach pottery classes. That this is one that's kind of an urgent, if you have been wanting to try this. There's actually 3 spots left for the class starting tomorrow, only because it's 2 days a week compared to 1 day a week. And I knew that was kind of rushing it, but we have it half full. We're still holding it no matter what, but if you want to grab a spot, it's available. Our June one is already full, the one that we do once a week. And we also started doing private events. So if you want to just try it out, you're not willing to sign up for a 6-week type of thing, you can grab a Saturday spot and find 5 friends to come with you. It's just one flat fee. And you kind of learn the basics of throwing in the pottery wheel and end up with 2 to 3 pieces that you are done making by the end. And it's been a lot of fun so far. We've had some birthday parties, just girlfriends that wanted to get together. Tell you what, it's fun, especially whenever there's a couple together watching the dynamics. So it's something that you should consider signing up for, no matter who it is that you can get together with. So let me see, was there anything else that was asked or that's going on? Oh, I'm participating in a retreat that a friend of mine is hosting, so I have the link for that, because that's going to be a really fun one. She's got 4 of us coming, the 2 of them and then 2 guests that are hosting it at a farm in Champion, Pennsylvania. And we're doing one here at this location next to the stream together too. But all of them are things that I'm looking forward to. I wouldn't be planning them if I didn't. And as Rita always tells me, I want to come to that whenever we decide what we want to do. So basically what we're doing is, if we think it would be a lot of fun and we would actually be a student at the workshop, that's what we're going to create. So we've been trying to create a big variety of things, because we know everybody has different interests. And the thing I get told the most, or the question I get asked the most, is about not really being able to draw or paint. And it's not about that so much as, do you want to feel creative? Have you spent a lot of time in front of the computer and it's just time to work with your hands, and you want to do things and make things? And that's part of, just getting out there and trying something. So we really always encourage that just creative spirit, finding your artistic style, messing with the supplies and seeing what you can do with them. And then we show you all the techniques that help make it work. So I hope this has been informative. I know it ended up kind of long, but there's a lot going on between May 7th and clear into August. And there's more plans beyond that, and even bigger plans for next year. So the biggest one is the beach retreat that we're packed up with supplies, everything's planned. We're just finalizing food. And of course, if somebody else joins at the last minute, we need to make sure that we're accommodating any food requests for that. But we have thought of basically everything we can possibly think of for it, to make it an outdoor experience, an artistic experience, kind of a mindfulness experience. And we're so excited about it, and we hope that you would consider joining that one. So if I didn't answer any questions, always reach out to me anytime. And honestly, I just would requests for things that you would want to make and want to do, or places that you want to go, because that's part of what is really fun for me, is planning all of these too and making them happen. So thanks for listening.